Let's keep things simple, shall we? Today we're going to take a whole bunch of cheese, bread it, fry it, and be happy. I haven't seen this much cheese since the Hey Arnold Cheese Festival. To the kitchen. Alrighty, good cheese needs good sauce, so let's start with a saucepan, get some olive oil in there, throw in some onions, season that with salt and pepper, throw in some garlic, cook that down. Once we get them sauteing and sweating out, we're going to go with our tomatoes. I'm doing marinara, so I like a nice chunky diced tomato for this. I believe in saving money, but there's two things I don't skimp on in life: toilet paper and tomatoes. We're just using simple ingredients, so make sure that you buy a decent quality tomato and your sauce will come out fantastic. I didn't have any basil on hand, so I went with oregano, salt, and pepper. Bring it to a slow simmer, cover it, and let it go for as long and as slow as you possibly can, and you'll have a great sauce. Now it's time to get cheesy. Now this is just a nice regular block of mozzarella cheese. It's not the really high quality stuff which you wouldn't want to fry anyways, in my opinion. This is going to hold up super nicely. It's not going to get stringy, so we're not going to choke on our cheese. I'm going to cut it into nice, thick, rectangular planks. Not too thick, but thick enough to where we're going to have a nice center, but it will hold up to the frying. Of course, you can cut the cheese into whatever shape you like. Speaking of which, I like sticks, especially when they're made out of cheese. So these are just your run-of-the-mill cheese sticks that you would put into your child's lunchbox. I'm really taking it easy on myself today. You probably just don't want to get kind that you can peel so it holds up nicely. But yeah, these are nice and firm, and you can shake them around, and they're fun to do that with. For my last cheese, I'm going with these little mozzarella balls. They're not quite the really high quality stuff, but they're closer to that. They have a lot of moisture, so you want to make sure you just kind of pad them off before getting them into the breading. Speaking of breading, I'm going with just a flour, salt, and pepper mixture, and then eggs that I will give a quick whisk to. And then lastly, I'm going with Italian breadcrumbs. You have a lot of choices for this. You can do a flour egg flour combo or panko breadcrumbs. There's a lot of choices, but I like the Italian breadcrumbs not only for the flavor, but because it's a nice light crisp crust. I don't want a really thick crust on my cheese today. I'm going to throw in some more Parmesan cheese, give it a nice cheesy salty bite. But there you go, there's our breading mixture. We'll start with our flour, making sure that everything is dusted nicely. Shake off any excess before throwing it into the egg. Make sure that they're fully submerged in the egg mixture before throwing them into the breadcrumbs. Again, you want to mix these around until they are nicely heavily coated. Use some pressure if needed, but very easy to do. As I bread the cheese sticks, one tip to mention is to freeze these once you have the breadcrumbs on them. Not for too long, just about 10 minutes just to firm them up. It really just adds to a nice meltiness to crispy crust ratio, but once you have these breaded, they're still just as much fun to shake, but don't shake off your breading. To the frying pan we go. You just want to make sure that you're using something deep enough, not filling up the oil too high, and you have heavy ventilation above your stove. But you really don't need that much oil. I intended just to do a shallow pan fry, not a complete deep fry, but I actually put more oil than I intended, so it worked out just fine. But you can see here, these things fry up really quickly, just a couple minutes on each side. Flip them over, same thing. When the cheese starts to come out, you definitely can get them out of there. Put them onto a rack to let the excess oil drip off. Our cheese sticks will fry up super quickly. Again, you'll know when to turn them. They can just kind of show you by the color. Just want to get them nice and crispy, very quickly on each side. Balls fry up in no time. You just want to give these a quick rotation, adjusting your temperature as needed. Let these drain and cool slightly, and in no time you will have a cheese festival of your own, my friend. This is how I like my fried mozzarella, with the cheese oozing out just slightly. A very nice thin, cheesy, crispy crust on the outside. I like to put sauce right on top of these planks, if you will, because they kind of soak it up a little bit. It's almost like eating chicken parm, but it's cheese instead of chicken, and it tastes delicious. They're still firm and crispy, and they hold up really nicely. The center is just slightly melty. It's not too stringy. This is exactly how I like it, and that sauce on top just complements it so well. It's a little bit chunky, savory, and has the perfect hint of sweetness. I mean, these little guys are just so poppable. These things are dangerously addictive. Call them cheese balls, call them whatever you want. They have a nice crispy crust on the outside. They're ooey gooey and cheesy in the middle. They're just a perfect poppable bite. Jumping into our mozzarella sticks. Again, this is why I go with the Italian breadcrumbs, because I like that thin crispy crust. Like, this is about the cheese for me. I like the crispy crust on the outside. Don't get me wrong, it complements the cheese perfectly, but I don't want like a huge thick layer of just breading with some of the cheese just oozing out and kind of melting through it. This holds its shape nicely. This highlights the cheese, and the breading just complements it. Still has a really nice stretchiness to it. You can see that's how I like mine. We'll do that one more time for you folks watching at home. The possibilities are endless, and they are cheesy. I'm gonna keep on dipping and dunking my sticks, my balls, and anything else I can put into this delicious marinara sauce. Have fun with it. This is an excellent treat that'll hit the spot if your New Year's resolution is to go on a diet. I apologize in advance, but good luck to you.